Hey fam, welcome back. Hope you guys are having a great day. I'm Joe.
I'm Dan.
We're back with another reaction. It's pitch meeting time once again. Which one?
This is Solo, a Star Wars story.
We've got to go in chronological order here, fam. See
Yeah,
what's
we're
going
not
on.
we're not looking forward to it, but we gotta stick with the sequence.
Let's see if you enjoy it though, okay? Cheers to you, fam. Try to enjoy.
So you have a Star Wars script for me? Yes, sir, I do. And this one's all about a young Han Solo. Sounds kind of unnecessary.
Yes,
well,
it
look
is.
at it this way. Aren't all movies unnecessary? Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I'm sold. Great. So what
Really?
happens in the
No,
movie?
they're not.
Well, Han lives on this planet, Corellia, and he's basically a slave for a giant evil worm crime boss, Lady Proxima. Oh, wow, she sounds interesting. Yeah, super interesting. So she's barely gonna be in it. Oh, yeah, Han's gonna expose her to sunlight, and she's gonna burn and go back into the sewers. But how does a giant worm that can't be exposed to sunlight run a crime syndicate from the sewers? I have so many questions. Well, that's too bad, because we're moving on. All right, then. So anyway, Han's gonna try to escape with his girlfriend Kira, but they're gonna get separated. Bummer. Yeah, and he's gonna join the Imperial Army so he could become a pilot and go back and save her. Well, that's nice of him. And so that's how he's gonna get his name. What? The guy who signs him up into the army is like, do you have a people? And Han's like, no. So the guy's like, okay, let's just say your last name is Solo, because you're alone. So Han Solo wasn't his real name? Nope, and now everybody's gonna know how he got it. I just
That's too
assumed that
bad.
was his name, so I don't feel any different now that I know. Yeah, well, it's an origin story, so I kind of made my way through the stuff we kind of know about him and provided specific explanations for all of them. Once
That was
again, that
unnecessary.
seems unnecessary. You're unnecessary. That makes me feel inferior, and now I feel like I need your approval, so keep going.
Isn't he
your
So
boss?
we're also gonna provide some backstory on Han's golden dice. Han has dice? Yeah, you could kind of see them in the original trilogy, and they show up in The Last Jedi. Oh, well, I guess I didn't realize they were that important. They weren't really, but we're gonna provide some backstory for them that's gonna blow people's minds.
Of course
oh,
you
yeah,
are.
yeah. So they're like a good luck charm or something. Okay. So yeah, that's what they are. Once again, I don't feel any different now that I know that. We're also
Yep,
going to
me
explain how
neither.
Han got his blaster. Oh, how did that happen? Someone gave it to him. Right, that makes sense. So we're also
course
gonna
they
explain
did.
why he calls Chewbacca Chewie. Oh, why is that? Because he thinks Chewbacca is too long to say. I feel like we had all figured that out on our own already.
We did.
Yeah,
We're
it's
gonna
a
spell it
nickname.
out. Well, okay then. So anyway, then Han's going to be in the Imperial Army for 3 years. Wow, Han Solo in the Imperial Army, that's going to be super interesting to see. Sounds pretty nuts, right? Oh yeah. So anyway, we're going to skip right past that. Oh, we are. Yeah, we're just going to jump to the very
God's
tail end of
sake,
it.
yeah.
All right, if you say so. I do. So then Han's going to meet this guy Beckett who has a crew, and they're going to fly away from the war zone. Okay. But before that, Han's going to get thrown into a jail pit thing, and that's where he's going to meet Chewbacca. Oh, Chewie, what's he doing there? Oh, he's being kept as a prisoner there, and also he kills and eats people. What?
Oh,
yeah, so he's
oh.
going to try to do that to Han. Wow, it's going to be hard for Han to get out of that situation. Actually, super easy.
Barely an
an
inconvenience.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah, it turns out Han can speak Chewbacca's language, so they become friends and escape together. How does Han speak Chewbacca's language? Because I wrote that in the script. But when did he learn that? When I wrote it in the script.
Damn right.
Fair enough. So anyway,
Quit
Han
asking
and Chewie are
questions.
gonna go on a heist with Beckett and his crew to steal some hyperfuel coaxium stuff. Okay. But it's gonna go wrong and some of Beckett's crew are gonna die, like his girlfriend's gonna blow herself up. Wow, he must be devastated. He's barely gonna be affected by it. Oh, okay then. So then Beckett's
I
gonna
can
find
find
out that
another.
they're actually stealing the stuff for this guy Dryden Voss, and he's gonna be mad. Okay. So they're gonna go see him at this gangster place, and Han's gonna run into Kira. His girlfriend Kira that he's doing all of this for? That's the one. So his whole motivation was to get a ship and fly back to her, but now she's there? Now she's there. Feels like you just messed up the emotional drive of the movie. Whoops. Whoopsie.
movie's
So as
over.
it turns out, she works for Voss now. Oh, so earlier when you jumped forward 3 years, that was just so she could have time to join Voss's crew? You got me. I thought that was a weird time jump. Like, how was Han not able to get his hands on a ship for 3 years? Yeah, I just needed 3 years to pass for the story to work. Yeah, I
Why?
see that now. So Voss is gonna want to kill Han and Beckett and Chewie, but they're gonna be like, wait, we can steal a bunch of unrefined coaxium for you. Okay. But Voss is gonna be like, first of all, that stuff explodes if you don't refine it fast enough, and second, I don't want this traced back to me in any way. Right. So they're like, well, we're not attached to you in any way, so it can't be traced back to you. Oh,
Fair.
that's smart. Yeah, so that sells him on it, and then he's like, take my second in command Kira with you. What? Yeah, he wants her to keep an eye on things. But you just said the whole thing is that he doesn't want it traced back to
Yes.
him. That's right. Feels like sending his second in command is pretty traceable. Well, I want her to be there, though. Right, but you
For
just said
romance
that.
purposes.
I know, but I want her to be there, though. Well, okay, if that's what
For
you want,
romance
it is.
purposes,
So then they're
yeah.
gonna go see Lando Calrissian, because they need his ship. And he has this droid companion, L3, who has a wacky personality. Okay, good. I was getting worried there wasn't gonna be a wacky droid in this movie.
There's
yeah, and
always
she's
a
all about
wacky droid.
equal rights and freedom for droids. Very wacky.
Yeah.
Yeah, and later she's
Pretty
gonna
wacky.
die, and they're gonna kind
How
of
dare you.
implant her consciousness into the Millennium Falcon. Oh my god, that's awful. No, it's gonna be kind of a sweet moment. The droid that was all about freedom gets her consciousness trapped in a ship for eternity? Right, isn't that sweet? It sounds
No.
absolutely horrifying from her
Yeah, it
perspective,
does.
like the last thing she would have wanted. Right, but we're gonna play it like it's a sweet thing. They made her into a prisoner. It's like something out of Black Mirror. Yeah, it's gonna be a
Damn.
nice moment. So anyway, they're all gonna go on another heist together. Very exciting.
Not
and the
Black
coaxium's
Mirror.
about to explode, so they have to take a shortcut on the Kessel Run. Oh, we're gonna show the Kessel Run that Han was talking about in A New Hope. Yeah, instead of leaving it to the imagination, we're gonna show people exactly what happened and kind of take the mystery out of it. So how did it go down? Well, they run into a giant tentacle monster thing. Giant testicle monsters are
No,
tight.
that's not what he said.
And there's gonna be a black hole thing, and they're gonna have to escape the black hole thing and the monster. It's gonna be nuts. The monster lives next to a black hole? Yeah, I guess it does. I guess my questions are, why does it live there, and what does it eat if nobody passes through there? Those are good questions. Thank you.
Very good
So
questions.
anyway, the characters are gonna... Oh, you're not gonna answer the question?
No.
No, I'm not. So anyway, the characters are gonna go bring the coaxium to Voss. Okay. But then everyone's gonna betray each other, and Beckett's gonna shoot Voss's guards and run away with the coaxium. Why wouldn't he shoot Voss too? Because I want Voss to stay alive for a final fight. Right, but it doesn't make sense for Beckett to shoot the guards and not him. Yeah, but I want Voss to stay alive for a final fight.
Okay, we
well,
get it.
okay then. So then there's a final fight and Voss dies. Right, and then we're gonna find out that Kira is evil because she has a Skype call with Darth Maul. Wait, what? Yeah, he goes by Maul now. I'm confused. So this takes place before Phantom Menace? No, he
No.
didn't actually die in Phantom Menace. Are
correct.
fans gonna get that? Real fans will. We covered it in some
Yeah.
animated stuff. But what about everyone else? They'll figure it out. He has robot legs that you could kind of make out. All right, well, cameos are fun, I guess. And then Maul's gonna ignite his dual lightsaber. Why would he do that? Well, the audience really liked that about him, so we're gonna show it. Right, but he's like Skyping with Kira, right? Yeah. And he just lights up his lightsaber to show her, I guess.
Showing off,
So what do
yeah.
you think? Well, I mean, it's definitely a risk to make a movie about such a well-loved character. Well, if we're not taking risks, we're not doing anything worthwhile. Well, I gotta agree with you on that one.
Oh,
I don't know about that.
Yeah. So there it is, fam. Solo, a Star Wars story.
They really tore that one apart, didn't they?
Yeah, my God, they dissected that one like a frog on a plate. They went through everything. Man,
I mean, I remember watching it and thinking, it's not as bad as people are giving it credit for, but really, when you look at the pitch meeting, there's a lot of glaring issues with that film.
yeah, there really are.
Like, I don't like the fact that you had to have a backstory for his name. It was stupid to have backstories for all those little things about him, like the dice. Like, who cares about dice, honestly?
Lighting up your dual lightsaber did nothing for me when I saw it.
Yeah, like,
Because you're not doing anything but Skyping.
are you trying to seduce Kira, or what's the deal here?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure fans everywhere were in theaters were jumping out of their seats going, yes.
I mean, I thought it was neat seeing Darth Maul, especially knowing the fact that he was still alive at that point in time.
Well, I hadn't seen Clone Wars at that time yet.
I hadn't either,
so,
but I at
yeah,
least knew that part of the story.
that part I honestly didn't know. So
Really?
seeing him alive was a kind of a shocker to me. But then after that, you don't really see him again in any of the live action stuff. I don't think.
Yeah,
You just see like what his fate becomes. So,
right.
Yeah. And that's and that's honestly fine. For me, it's like I don't understand why she was involved with him in the first place, how she got involved, and where that went after that. So, because they never really explained her again.
Yeah, I mean, that was the thing I was most looking forward to about the whole thing, was just getting to see more of the underworld in the Star Wars universe, and they just really went nowhere with it. You had stuff like, the Book of Boba Fett, where you see him dealing with some underworld figures, but you don't see it well enough to really appreciate it, I don't think.
No, I think you're right. And I don't know why they struggle with this, because that's how a lot of things get done, is in the underworld. So you would think they'd want to show more of that, especially with the spice trade and the spice and coaxium trade.
Yeah.
They're very necessary for everything. Both highly sought after substances in the world.
It would be a great premise if you ever wanted to do, another series, or maybe even a set of movies, having it set around people living in that kind of world.
Yeah, living in the underworlds of these
Yeah.
places, yeah.
Because, that's the thing. You're building off of existing characters, but you're giving stuff that fans really didn't want or care about in the first place. Whereas you had ideas in there for more original stuff and you didn't pursue it.
Exactly. Solo's a good example of that.
Yeah.
But you tell us what you think, fam. Are you one of the few that enjoyed the movie? Who knows? But let us know what you thought of, and let us know if there's anything that we missed in this pitch meeting, or that they missed, for that matter, in the pitch meeting. Love to hear your thoughts there, guys. But as always, guys, like, subscribe, hit the bells, chime in the comments, and like and subscribe again. And go check us out on those things that popped up there, guys. But until next time, this is Cocktail Flicks. I'm Joe.
I'm Dan.
We'll catch you on the flip side. Cheers to you, fam. Cheers to you, Dan.
Cheers to you, Joe.
Later, guys.